God. Hey, I just want to tell everybody, I know we've been gone. Y'all ain't seen us for about a week. I've been on a little sabbatical from YouTube.
Man,
Because,
it's been a rough like week and a half, 2 weeks, man. So
and mostly because, I have had other stuff that's going on that has taken, some of my attention. Plus, on top of that, y'all ain't been watching my shit. Just saying.
I'm dead.
So,
I'm dead.
uh, we are the Cavecast. I'm Big Temp. It's the Mike LaFleur, aka Game Type. I'm I'm on here today. We are watching the finals. It's on a commercial right now. This is what, game 3 in Indy, and so far, good game. I think Indy's up by a couple points. Anyway, I really got on here because there were some things that have really irked my soul in the last week and a half. I just want to say that. Again, irked my soul. And I'm saying this because I have to, right? Mike, do y'all remember this old, it's an oldie but goodie, right? It's a song, right? Don't, friends. Don't. How many of us have them? Friends. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, man.
You do, right? You would say you have some friends, right, Mike?
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
select few.
Okay.
You know.
I got some friends too, right? And the reason I'm asking is because I'm just wondering, you know, most friends, they will tend to keep you out of trouble or from saying the wrong thing or being in the wrong place at the wrong time, because they care about you. And when I say this with all sincerity from the bottom of my gut. Where in the fuck is LeBron James' friends when he gets on fucking TV saying some of the shit that he says?
Dad,
Where's his
I don't know why
friends?
you. No, listen, I don't know why you asking stuff like that when they all spew the same bullshit. So, like,
But
the same bullshit that he be
those ain't
spewing.
his friends. Those are not his friends. Those are people he pays. I'm talking about the
I
motherfucker that
mean,
is his friend. The one person that ain't gonna lie to him, that ain't gonna tell him what he want to hear. The one person that's gonna do the right thing by him because he cares about his ass. And I'm telling you right now, where's his friends? Where's his
shit, I don't know.
friends? Because I don't know if you happen to hear it, but I heard it, right? Mind the Game podcast, Steve Nash, here's LeBron James, and LeBron James gets on there talking about he's getting talked about because he ain't got no bag, right? And then,
Hey, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said?
oh my God.
He was like, how do I not have no bag, but I got a 50 billion points? And I'm just like, bro.
Okay, here's my question though. Your friend should have told you, hey man, don't do this. You're going to open it up for people to talk shit about you. They're going to chastise you, and they're going to also go back and look at your shit. Right? He said, and I quote, you remember when he did, what's his name's show? God dang it. You know who I'm talking about. He was in that beef with Stephen A. Smith, and then he went
Oh,
on,
yeah.
what's his name's show,
Pat
right?
McAfee?
Pat McAfee
Pat,
goes on his show, and what does he say on Pat McAfee's show? He said, I believe that those players, the older players, didn't think the game. They weren't very bright. They were just bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else at the time. Right? That's what he said. Nothing about their skill level, just that they were bigger, faster, stronger. Right? Fast forward all this time. This is why I said he needs a friend. He says on the Mind the Game podcast that Kobe, Michael, they were able to dribble, one dribble, two dribble, three dribbles at the most, get to a point, pull up, rise up, shoot, score. Right?
Yep.
And what irritates me about this is that that's their bag. Their ability to have mastered the fundamentals so well that their bag is exactly what you were supposed to be doing to get yourself free efficiently, right? Without using a bunch of the fucking time clock, a bunch of screens, 25 dribbles, all this other shit, right? Their bag, even though they had a ton in that bag, mastery of moves, they knew KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I was always told when I was young.
I agree.
We know you can do crossover dribble behind the back, spin move with the left hand to the rack. But you don't need that all the time. The only time you need to really dig deep into your bag is when it's warranted. When you absolutely have to. We know for a fact that's a skill. Those are skills that those players have, that they can do that when they reach deep into their bag. We know for a fact LeBron don't have none of that.
Hey, Dad,
right?
this is why the Jordan didn't have no left hand argument is dumb as fuck. Because first of all,
Exactly.
he didn't need to use his. Wait a minute. Yeah, he had a. Well, first of all, he had a left hand.
He
I
had
don't
a
even
left
want to
hand.
discuss that. But the thing is that he didn't have to use it that much because he was so dominant using his right hand. If you can't stop him going to his right, what the hell is the point of him going to his left?
But when he needed it,
when he needed to, he could do it.
He did it, and he was efficient at it. At it. The problem I have with this whole argument is that LeBron doesn't have those skills to do what a LeBron did. I mean, what a Kobe did, or what a Michael did, or what a fucking Isaiah Thomas did, or what a Kyrie Irving does, right? He doesn't have the ability to do that. That's why Steve Kerr always put a bag on him talking about LeBron doesn't have a go-to move. That's exactly what the fuck he was talking about. So when they absolutely had to have a bucket, he couldn't get it.
Dad, you know what I've heard people say is his go-to move? You know that little pause stop he does at the three-point line? That little ugly ass.
Hey, if that's in his bag, he need to go back and tell them
that is terrible.
They need to put something else in there.
Terrible.
If that's in his bag and that's what they're saying is part of his game, he needs to go back and tell them to put something else different in there. Return that motherfucker. Take it back, give them the receipt, and tell them you would like to purchase something else.
It's stupid to me because, like, when people talk about, like, with Jordan especially, and even Kobe, when they be talking about they weren't the greatest ball handlers, but I'm like, y'all only say that because they don't do all that fancy dribble moves all the time.
What's
but the thing is that, like,
doing it if you don't have to? What's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Mike was able, and this is the thing, especially with Mike, and not so much Kobe, because Kobe didn't have the first step that Mike did as far as quickness goes.
Exactly.
Because Mike could beat you off that first step and be gone. That was the beauty of what Mike could do. He didn't need to be doing all those crazy dribble moves all the time. He'd do it from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Especially in transition, he'll do Mike's favorite move. 2 moves in transition was that little in and out.
Yep.
Or the behind the back. Those was his 2 favorite moves. But he didn't need to do all that extra shit.
No.
Kobe said it best. They were the best at picking and choosing their spots. If they got to their spot, 1 or 2 dribbles, boom, pull up or go to the rim, whatever. They didn't need to do all that extra shit, bro.
And you know what you just said, what you said was perfect. Get to their spots. 1 to 2 dribbles, pull up, score, right? That's the beauty of having a bag. Is I know you can't stop me when I decide to triple threat your ass and I'm deciding where I'm going. You can't stop me because you can't stop me going right. You can't stop me going left. I know where I want to go. I want to go 2 steps to the left, to the corner, elbow, pull up, jump shot. That's my bag. Now, if you can stop what's in my bag, as simple as it may seem, then okay. But if you can't stop that, I'm going to kick your ass with it all fucking night. That's what I'm going to do. And that's the beauty of knowing when to use it and when to not use it. You don't have to use, all your fucking moves in one goddamn fucking play. That's not what's warranted. And I get, LeBron has said, he was right about that part. But the problem is he's speaking about these guys who are doing these things, but at the same time, months before, he had just said those guys weren't very smart. I don't think they thought the game of basketball. They were just bigger, stronger, faster. Fast forward again, like I said before, here we are where he's talking about how they were great and their bag was to be able to pull up after 1 to 2 dribbles effectively, efficiently, and score. Doesn't that mean that they were thinking the game of basketball? Doesn't that mean that they had mastered those skills? The one thing about everybody that they're talking about, these guys who are all champions, you know what the one thing a lot of them have in common? I would say most of them. Their basic fundamental skills are top notch more than anybody else. Michael's skill, top notch, supreme skill. Kobe, supreme skill. Jerry West was a supreme skillman, right? Magic Johnson.
I know people hate him. And I get it, but KD's in that conversation too.
KD is in that conversation. Kyrie,
Kyrie's
in that conversation.
Kyrie's another one.
Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon.
I would even put a dude like Jamal Crawford in there, like just straight bucket getters off of skill, bro.
Jamal Crawford is, and the thing about it is, I think sometimes Jamal Crawford may have used his bag just a little too much, but that was his style.
Agree.
That was his style, right? So I can't knock him for it. But at the same time,
he was a guy that needed to use that a little bit more than the others. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, LeBron stuck his foot in his mouth in this occasion. Because everybody he was talking about, his game does not mimic anything close to what theirs are. Because all those guys he was named off, they were highly skilled at putting the ball on the floor. They had great footwork. They were good, very good shooters, especially from the mid-range. And they can get their shot anytime they wanted to. LeBron can't. He can't. And he can't do any of the things that those guys do. Right? He's a drive to the basket kind of guy, a bully, or shoot a jump shot. Maybe a putback rebound. He's not skilled the same way as those guys. Their bag is deeper. Now, they don't have to use it as much, but when they do, they can pull it off when it's warranted. When it's warranted. LeBron cannot do that.
I understand how people can't see the difference. Like, obviously, LeBron can score. We know that. But it's about how you score, right?
But here's the thing. That's his bag.
It's like Shaq.
I will give him that.
It's like
That's his bag.
Shaq didn't have a crazy bag. Like, now, what I will say is Shaq had a nasty jump hook. That jump hook was money. Like, that little turnaround, hook jumper that he had was money.
And, and here's one thing that is clearly nobody really talks about when it comes to Shaq, and I think that they should. Shaq's footwork in the paint
was very good. It was
very good.
It was definitely solid. Yeah.
Very good. And he was and one of the things, like I think, you were just saying, he was very underrated as a passer for a big man.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal he was an excellent passer in the paint.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People look, and I get it. Shaq was dominant and big. His size was a big focal point of why he was able to do. But Shaq had touch around the rim, man. I tell people all the time, like, you could be big and strong, but that doesn't mean Rudy Gobert is the perfect example, y'all.
Yeah,
big as hell. He's probably bigger than everybody else on the court, but he doesn't have any touch around the rim. It don't matter how close that dude is. Like, there's no reason. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta give Shaq love on that one, man.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, when it comes down to it, whatever the player's ability is, right? Whatever his skill level is, that's his bag. But the thing is some people or some players' bag is deeper than others. They have more in there, right? When we are comparing these guys, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Isaiah Thomas, those guys, even a guy like Magic Johnson, I believe that their bag is deeper with more in it than what LeBron James's was. Because LeBron's,
Wait. You think Magic's bag is deeper than LeBron's offensively?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Magic never ran off ball, right? LeBron runs off ball a lot. This is just me. Magic was Showtime. They ran all the fucking time. Do you really think LeBron would run like that all the time? He doesn't run like that all the time.
No, he's more. I've always said LeBron is more of a half court passer.
He is. He's a half court offensive guy.
He's a half court offensive guy. It's not a knock, but yeah, he's not the transition guy like Magic was. It's not even close. I don't think it's close.
And that's why I said Magic's
as far as passing goes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say his skill in that position right there as a point guard would be better for me. That's how I look at it, because I believe Magic, one of the most dangerous things a point guard can be is fucking fluid on a fast break. If a point guard is fluid on a fast break, that means he is seeing everything. His court vision is great. He knows where everybody's supposed to be. He can see two plays ahead. That's what Magic had. That's what Magic had.
Do you think it's the opposite for both? Because, do you think that LeBron's half-court offense is better than Magic, and then vice versa?
Yes, I do.
As far as
yes, I do.
Okay, so I would agree. I
do.
Yeah,
and see, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is that
it's about style of play that what you prefer.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And the bad part about that is that when it comes down to it, I believe that Magic's style of play led to more championships because they were able to push the pace longer for more periods of time.
I think the ball touches more people's hands too.
Exactly. And they didn't let people get set in their defenses, right? With LeBron, it puts him at a disadvantage in a lot of situations because now you've let guys get into their defense. You don't let people always get a chance to touch the ball, right? Sometimes the ball stays on one side of the court, right? On the fast break, you never know where the ball is going. That's what made Showtime great. That's what made Showtime great. Magic was the orchestrator. He was the orchestrator, right?
I agree.
He was conducting the whole time, and it didn't matter if the symbol was supposed to be there or not. He made sure that it was going to work.
I will say though, if I had a preference, it would be more of the transition passer than the half court passer.
Yes,
because you said, you can't set a defense.
Exactly, it keeps people.
Yeah, you can't set a defense. It's like a guy like Steve Nash or a J Kidd. You get those dudes on the break, man. It's especially with a guy like Nash because of his shooting ability. On top of that, now I get people's argument with Kidd as well.
Yes.
Now Kidd didn't become the shooter that Nash was until later, but Kidd was on another level when it came to getting on that break. Kidd was on
another level. He's one of my favorite. I told you this before. He's probably one of my, if not my favorite point guard of all time, because I love the way he orchestrated a lot of what Magic did. He incorporated it, and he did the same thing. But the thing about him was he did it at a level where he could do it in the fast break and in the transition game, and he could do it in the half court game. That's what made me fall in love with Jason Kidd's game, because he could do both.
Wait, do you think Nash was like that too, or no? Because I feel like Nash was more of a half court now that I think about it. Because he used to do the pick and roll.
Yes,
he could do the transition, but he was more of a pick and roll guy.
Nash was more of a pick and roll guy. And like I said, this is no knock on anybody else. This is just saying these are these guys' bag. And the whole conversation was started because LeBron said something about him not having a bag and people talking about him not having a bag. He has a bag. But it's just limited. It is limited. And a lot of guys, this game is limited as far as their bag goes, their skills and what they have. That shit, I mean, if they weren't, then why come guys ain't doing what Kobe was able to do? You got a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who's mimicking what Kobe does, but it's not the same. I mean, it's
Look,
slight differences to it,
I
right?
gotta I gotta touch on that because this Kobe disrespect, bro.
Oh my God,
Look,
I can't,
y'all.
I can't do it.
I listen, y'all. Look, I look. Shea Gildress he's one of the best. He just won MVP. Obviously, he's one of the
Yeah.
best players in the league right now. But like people comparing what he's doing with Kobe. Listen, y'all. I like Shea, but one thing I don't like that foul baiting shit, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That's enough for me to not like you.
No, no, you're right. I'm
It,
not saying in
like
that
I
way.
No,
I
I
hope you
get it, but
know that.
I'm just, yeah. I know that, but I'm just saying, like in general, because just of the discourse that I've been seeing online and the sports world and stuff like that, bro, stop it, bro.
I need
Because
a drink.
people try to say that Kobe was doing the same thing, or he got to the line just as much or more. But I'm like, Kobe wasn't foul baiting and flopping, bro.
No.
Like, look, man, look, I just have a. This is me personally. I just don't like it, bro. I can't stand it. I didn't like it when James Harden was doing it. I definitely don't like it when LeBron is. I don't like it when anybody does it, bro. I hate it. It drives me insane because
Here's my
you're
question.
killing the integrity. You're killing the integrity of the game when you do shit like that, bro. I don't like it, bro, at all.
Here's my question to you. As a Kobe fan, this is your guy. He was the guy you grew up on watching in your formidable years, right? You loved Kobe Bryant. I used to talk to you about him all the time. You know, I'm a Celtics fan, and I hated Kobe just for the fact that he was a Laker fan, that he was a Laker, right? But at the same time, the one thing I will give Kobe is his just desserts as far as him as a player goes. I hated Kobe as a Laker, but he was a great player. But what pisses me off more than anything, and I wonder how you feel about it. Do you think if Kobe was alive today, the guys who are talking this bullshit about Kobe, who are disrespecting his name, saying that he's not in the top five, he's not in the top 10, do you think this shit would be going on right now?
Nope. And you know what's
No.
funny? I don't remember who it was. Oh, what player? Man, I can't remember. But dudes like when I hear dudes like Gilbert Arenas talking shit or like Jason Williams. Who else have I seen like just say some absolute nonsense? I can't. There's another dude, and I just can't think of his name. But I'm like, bro, y'all had all that time to have that kind of smoke, but y'all waited till Kobe died to say these kind of things.
Because he
And I'm
can't
just
defend
sitting here
himself
like,
now.
yeah,
He can't defend
I'm
himself
like,
now.
y'all wouldn't dare say that shit if Kobe was up. Because what? Here's the thing we do know: Kobe would have said something back. You know that for a
Of
fact.
course.
And then like when I be hearing dudes talk about how like Kobe wasn't all that great on the defensive side of the ball and just nonsense. I'm just like, y'all, I don't know, man. For whatever
I
reason,
just kind of wonder. I just
all
kind
this
of
Kobe
wonder.
has it started within ever since he died, really. Like
Yes,
The Kobe negativity
yeah.
for sure.
I just kind of wonder because the way I look at it is just like you said. All these dudes that are saying that shit, every fucking one of them they got. Guess what they got in common? Especially these NBA players. Every fucking one of them that said this shit. Most of the guys that are saying this shit, they all have one thing in common. They got their ass torched by fucking Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah,
Every
yeah, and it's
fucking one of
like
them did. Every fucking one of them did. And the bad part is you couldn't stop him when he was here, when he was alive. So you punk chump motherfuckers, you sit here and you go after him while he's dead. That's some real low life fucking dirty
yeah,
ass work.
they know damn
That's
well
some
they wouldn't
real
be saying the
dirty
shit
ass
if he
work.
was alive.
If he was here, you wouldn't be
Yeah.
saying that shit. You'd be fucking, tucking your goddamn tail. That's some old chicken shit ass bullshit. That's what that is. And that pisses me off because a motherfucker who did what he did in this league, right? This motherfucker is the closest goddamn thing to fucking greatness as far as the GOAT goes. 1A, 1B. There is nobody else. And y'all want to disrespect him. Y'all want to disrespect him, say all this bullshit. Half you motherfuckers got your fucking cookies snatched by this motherfucker. And y'all want to talk this bullshit about him now that he ain't here. Okay. This just shows you what kind of fucking man you are. If you
And
can't
like,
say that shit to his face when he was here,
no,
you should
facts.
not be talking that bullshit when he's gone.
And you know what kills
That's how
me
I was
about
taught. I was taught that same motherfucking way. I was taught that if you can't say it to their motherfucking face, don't say it when they back turn. Don't
exactly.
say it when they ain't
And
here.
you, Dad, you know what kills me about that is that like, bro, when I hear the whole because they try to like kill Kobe for like his first couple years in the league, like comparing it to like Shea, for example, right? But I'm like, bro, the circumstances are so much different because Kobe went to a team that already had all stars on it. He
And
didn't get to go to
he
a
was
team.
playing for Dale Harris. Everybody knows. If you know
Exactly.
anything about
We
fucking
know the
Dale Harris,
story. We
Dale
know the
Harris did
story. Like
not
I don't
play
understand that.
rookies. Dale Harris did not play rookies. He didn't give a fuck how good they were. I remember Dale Harris. I remember when he was in fucking Dallas. He didn't
And
play rookies.
like I said, you had Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones, who were all stars, and Shaq already
Yeah.
on the team. So it wasn't like he went in and had the keys handed to him day
Nah.
one. You know what I'm saying? And even I even heard dude talk about Kobe's last game about because you know that last game where he scored 60,
Yeah.
and he was like he was talking about how everybody was praising that game, but Kobe shot horrible from the field and blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, you missed the whole purpose of that game, bro. Nobody cared about how inefficient he was, bro. It was Kobe's last game, and people wanted him to go out on a good. They wanted to see him for the last time, be Kobe, and go out and do what he do,
Do you
regardless
remember
if he
what
missed a bunch of shots or not. Like
do you
that
remember?
wasn't the point.
Do you remember what Shaq said to him before the game?
Oh yeah, he said I need 50, and then he got him 60 instead.
And
Like
got him 60 instead.
that was the
This
whole point.
this
People are so stupid, bro. I'm gonna have to find that video. That video was horrible, bro.
you know,
It was horrible.
I'm just going to say this. Look, I know for a fact LeBron fans, you can't tell them nothing about their king, right? And I'm sorry. I'm never going to call another man king. Fuck that. The only king I'm calling is he's up here, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not ever going to call another man king. I don't give a fuck, right? Because a man that follows a man ain't a man to me. You see what I'm saying? True enough, you can like somebody, you can support somebody, but when you start, you know, giving up your manhood to talk that
Dick
bullshit,
riding. We're gonna call it what
exactly.
it is. And you know what's funny? They'll try to accuse me specifically of shit like that. But I'm like, Jordan's not even my favorite player, bro.
Exactly. And the
Like
bad
Kobe is
part
my
is
favorite player.
that's
Like
what I'm saying. That's why I say you're a Kobe fan. But the problem is that these motherfuckers, look, there's no way in hell. I heard this motherfucker say the three greatest Lakers of all time was
oh my,
fucking.
I know what you're
Listen,
talking
hey,
about,
you heard it
bro.
right. He said
I heard it.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and LeBron James. I said you got to be out your rabbit ass fucking mind.
Bro, I heard a
And
dude say Kobe wasn't even in the top five, bro. Like of
yes,
Lakers all time, bro.
I'm
There
like, are
is
you
no
fucking
way, bro.
crazy? What the
This
fuck are
is one
y'all
dude that
smoking?
try to put Wilt ahead of him, and I'm just like, what?
How is he ahead of him when he's 2-4 in the finals?
And not only that,
Did you
Wilt,
know that's the one thing that
bro.
LeBron shares in common with one of the greatest players of all time? Is that he has a losing record in the finals. You know, the only other player to have a losing record in the finals that's considered in the GOAT conversation, supposedly? Wilt Chamberlain.
But you know what? You know what I'll give Wilt though. At least Wilt has shit that nobody can touch, bro.
Thank
And
you.
I mean that literally.
But we're
Like
talking about per
nobody.
game. We're talking about per game, not accumulative stats.
Oh yeah, yeah, per game. Because if you want to be technical, Wilt is the most dominant player to ever. Like statistically, he's probably the most dominant player to ever touch the ball, bro.
Yeah.
Statistically. Now, what's crazy? This is why I always say what's crazy about Mike is that Mike still averages more points per game than this nigga.
Yep.
That's the you. I want y'all to think about this for a second. Will averaged 50 for a year one time, for a whole season.
And 25.
And 25, like 25 rebounds. Mike still averages more points than this man. I want y'all to really think about that for a second. Now, to be fair, it's not by a whole lot. It's not like it's like
but it's
the
still
margin is
more.
like huge, but it's barely, but it's still more. And the funny
Yes.
thing is, the only reason why it dropped was because he retired the third time when he went when he came back for the with the Wizards and shit. Because it was at 32.5 points before he retired. Or after he retired the second time. So
I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And like I said, this is a conversation I was having, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, when LeBron opened his mouth up, and I'm thinking, where the fuck are your friends at, man? Why do they keep letting you do this shit to yourself? You're ruining your own fucking legacy.
Man.
He really
is. At this point, man, like, because they was talking about him, opting into that last the deal, that contract for like the 50 million or whatever it is. And I'm just like, man, at some point, the Laker organization got to fucking look at the bigger picture, bro. Because look, yes, LeBron is still putting up some pretty good numbers, especially for his age. But what are the impact of those numbers?
Exactly.
Because here's the thing, people always bring up those numbers, right? And they're talking about, like, they're comparing him to when he was at Miami Heat days, and they're kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
But if I asked any LeBron fan, what LeBron would you take? This LeBron right now or the LeBron in 2012 or 2013? They're going to say the LeBron in 2012 and 2013
of course
because
they are.
The impact is higher. It's not just about the numbers. The impact is higher. There's no way that the impact or that the player that LeBron is now is better than the player that he was in 2012 and 2013. Because even if the numbers are similar, he was a way far better player then than he is now. But that's where the impact comes from. So when y'all just talk about the stats, it's not just. That's why we say it's not just about. That's why I call it box score merchants. Because that's what y'all are.
Yeah.
The impact. It's like that video when they was talking about in the fourth quarter this year. He was like one of the worst players on the court with the Lakers when he was on the court. Yeah, in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. The impact. His impact is not the same, y'all, and it's okay to say that. Because I mean, the man is 40 or 41.
Yeah, but don't come blowing shit up and telling me about what he averaged and how many points he got in this game and this and that. And you're like, he did it at 40. Did they win? Did they win?
That's what I'm saying.
Did they win?
And then, the crazy thing about that is that like these are the same dudes that hype up what he's doing all year and telling us how good he is. So they set the expectation. And then when he doesn't meet that expectation and people clown him for it, then they want to be like, oh, well, he's 40. But I'm like, this is how good you told me he was all year.
Yeah.
And then when he doesn't make it happen, you find an excuse. Like that.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways, bro.
Like old boy said in this video, he said, when you guys tell me this shit and they're like, well, what did you expect? He's 40. And he said, I expect him to be as good as you told me he was.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And that's all.
You've been hyping him up this whole time.
Yeah, you've been hyping him up. You've been hyping him up all year, talking about how great he is at 40. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna hold him to that same standard that you say he is.
You said he was
you can't lower the standard. Yeah, you can't then lower the standard the moment he fails to meet that expectation that you set.
And then you use that same excuse that he's 40.
Exactly. Yeah.
After you just told me, man, he's doing this at 40. Did you see how many points he put up? You see how many rebounds? You see that assist, this and that? He's doing all this at 40. And then when he fails, and I say, well, what the fuck? And you like, well, what did you expect? He's 40.
Here's the thing.
I expect him to do what you told me he was going to do.
Here's the thing.
You said he was great.
Here's the thing, though, Dad. I wasn't even expecting the Lakers to go to the championship. That wasn't my expectation. That wasn't my expectation. But what my expectation was, though, was for them to at least get out the first round.
They were favored to get out the first round.
They weren't even favored to get out. They didn't even get out the first round.
That's what I'm saying. They were favored to get out. They were a
That's a
3
problem. That's
seed.
what I'm saying.
They were a 3
Yeah, you were
seed.
the three. And you know how many times Mike lost as the favorite or the higher seed? Never.
No, he lost once as a favorite seed, but it was one time, and I think it's bullshit the way
Oh,
they did it.
you're talking about the Orlando one. Okay, if you want to throw that
That's
one in there.
I don't want to, but it is factual. Okay, I will give them that.
But
They were
he didn't have
favored.
home court advantage though that
They
year.
didn't, but they were favored by the odds
They were
in
favored
fucking
though.
Vegas. Yes, and that's what pisses me off because I'm like, that's some real cheap shit right there. But
To be
let's be
fair,
honest.
the only reason why they did it was because of Jordan. And they see what he
Exactly.
did previously, regardless of
Exactly.
the situation. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But and this is another, and I'll say this real quick. This is
But the
why.
hype was real. Think about it. He had just come back from retirement. He was winning games. They were not going to make the playoffs unless he fucking came back.
But you know what's
Right?
funny? You know what's funny about that? This is what I always say about what the difference is between Mike and LeBron. So they lost to
Yeah.
Orlando, right? I think they
Yeah.
got beat 4-1. Was it
They did.
4-1?
4-1.
Something like that. And to be fair, you could say that you could make an argument that Jordan kind of lost in that series to an extent because he fucked up in some high level
Yeah.
moments, turning the ball
Turn the
over
ball
with
over.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely was at fault, right? We can say that.
Yeah.
You know what Jordan did? Took the L, came back the very next. This is the difference. This is how you know this nigga's a dog. He's like, okay, I fucked up. We gonna come back next year,
Yep.
break the break the all time winning and losing record in NBA history with a 72-10 record.
Yep.
And then on top of that, we're gonna face this team again,
And we're
sweep
going to
them,
sweep them.
and then win the championship. And not only win that championship, you three-peat again? Come on,
Yeah.
dog. Like, you want to talk about the ultimate way to use something, a L, as motivation
Have you
to
ever
come back
noticed?
even stronger? Bro, that's all we trying to point out when it comes to LeBron. All LeBron does, and you LeBron fans just find excuses, bro. Instead of just being like, okay, we weren't good enough this year. We're gonna come back the next year and prove ourselves. That's
Have
the
you,
difference, bro.
that is the
Like,
difference.
come on.
Have you ever noticed? And I'm gonna end it after this, right? So I just want you to, and everybody that's watching this, I want you to think about this too. Have you ever noticed how anything that is associated with Michael Jordan is the greatest, whatever, right? Nike. Nike was not a basketball shoe company. They weren't even thought of. They were a track company, track shoe company. They finally get a basketball player in their fucking midst and they turn into a global fucking icon because of Michael Jordan and the marketing. Overnight, that fucking year, right? They're one of the greatest shoe companies in the world, if not the greatest, right? Phil Jackson, unheard of coach. He was a player, won a couple of championships with New York as a role player. Was bounced around to Brazil and different places to be a coach, and never was this and that. Won a couple minor championships, but he came in as a assistant coach. Michael gets with him. What happens now? Phil Jackson is considered the greatest coach of all time. Scottie Pippen came out of Central Arkansas, NAIA school. I mean, they draft him, trade actually for him. Gets with Michael. Michael takes him up underneath his wing. They win all these championships. Scottie is considered the greatest sidekick of all time.
He shouldn't be. God
Well, I'm
damn
just
it.
saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but he is considered the greatest sidekick of all time. The
I
part of the great
vehemently
part of the
disagree.
greatest
God damn it.
part of the greatest duo of all time, right?
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
and here's Michael with his shoe company. changed the game, right? Actually changed everything about the game when it came to commercialization, endorsements, style, everything. Will Chamberlain said it best. Every player that came after Michael, they should be giving a check to Michael. Because without Michael, you wouldn't be getting the money you getting right now. He changed the whole game for you guys to get endorsements,
Yeah,
shoe
that
deals.
last that 1998 deal changed the game forever.
Think about it. And the
That
reason
$30
I'm
million
saying
a
this
year
is
deal.
because I heard it today. I heard this whole conversation. I said, you know what? That is absolutely right. That is absolutely anything associated with Michael is considered greatness. His shoes are the number one selling shoe out of all basketball shoes. His brand is the number one brand in the fucking world.
Dad, I don't think people realize what Mike the influence he had on fashion,
Exactly. That's what
like
I'm saying.
in the urban culture, bro. I don't think people realize what Mike did. People just don't get it, man. Like Mike is untouchable when it comes to that. It's
He is
untouchable, bro.
you know what they say, the standard is the standard. If you fall short of the standard, then that's all it is to say. He's the standard. They don't, when a guy comes into the league, they don't never compare him to fucking LeBron.
That's facts. Hey, that's facts,
Who's the person
bro.
they
That's
compare him to?
facts. That's facts, bro. Ain't
They
nobody
compare him
compare
to
him to
fucking
LeBron.
Mike.
Yeah,
So if you
that's
gotta
facts.
ask yourself when you see a great player come into the fucking league and you say all this shit and you start thinking to yourself after he starts winning MVPs and they start talking about, is this the next? They ain't gonna say LeBron after that. They never have. They always say, is this the guy who's gonna take the torch to be the next Michael Jordan? Because he's the standard.
Man, when they was doing that shit with Anthony Edwards, I was like, yo, y'all gotta chill, bro.
And I
Look,
like Anthony Edwards, but
I like
he has a
AE.
lot of limitations to
He's
his
got a lot
game.
of yeah, he's got a lot to grow. And he's still young. He's
He's
still
still
young.
young. He's still
He's
young.
only 23 years old, but like yeah, he's got a lot. He's still got a lot to improve on for sure. So I agree.
Well, look, I didn't have much to talk about, right? I just wanted to say that. I had to get that out because it was bothering me. And a lot of the shit that's coming out of Klutch and LeBron's mouth nowadays is fucking bothering the shit out of me. It irks my soul because a lot of this shit is a narrative. And I'm tired of narratives. Tell the fucking truth. Just tell the fucking truth. That's all you
Yeah,
gotta
man.
do. We respect you more if you just tell the fucking truth, right? That's all you got to do. So I just wanted to say that, get my piece out. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of tonight's show. If it was good, if you liked it, if it was poo poo, you didn't like it. Did we make you mad because we talked about your hero? Uh, do
I'm
you
dead.
agree with the sentiment that every player has a bag? Some's bag is just deeper than others. Some have more in there, right? You just have to think about this. It's not hard. And on top of that, do you think LeBron's friends are doing him justice? Because somebody needs to really tell LeBron, hey man, no more. No more. You can't do this
Man, they
shit.
ain't
You're
going
hurting your
to.
legacy.
They ain't going to.
Of course, they're probably
You
not
know they
going
ain't going
to,
to.
but I'm just saying. Anyway, that'll do it for us tonight. I'm Big Temp. That's Mike LaFleur. And as always, we are the Cavecast. We will hopefully see you guys again next week. And watch my shit.